Howdy hey, Clover here, and welcome to yet another episode of Clover Reacts to Text on a Screen. This is a reboot of the first video, and that's because, well, when you put characters in a fight to the death simulator, and you don't tell them, understandably, they'd be traumatized and slightly ticked off. So, I sent out applications this time, and unsurprisingly, not many applied. However, this is our cast for this season of the OC Rumble. We have actually a considerably big returning cast, despite what happened last time, but we also have some new faces. So, yeah, um, don't really have much else to say. In universe speaking, this is a recap of the events that happened. I guess hop right in. Okay, actually, I need to zoom in. Let's just say 125 sounds okay. Alright, so, as the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Soph, Gum, and Inkman work together to get as many supplies as possible. Interesting group. Revels runs away from the cornucopia. Uh, Evil and Dudebra fight for a bag. Dudebra gives up and retreats. Understandably so. Remy runs away from the cornucopia, um, probably looking for Carter. Rick and Kiwi fight for a bag. Kiwi gives up and retreats. That's a bit out of character. Also, I paired up the characters in teams based on how they're related. So most of them are related because they are in the same universe together. Some I'd had to put together because they either have matching personalities, a lot like so like Dudebra and Kaida, or conflicting, like I can't really think of any right now. Anywho, Carter runs away from the cornucopia. Ethelred, Gerald, and Clofer work together to get as many supplies as possible. Interesting. Karen runs away from the cornucopia, as does Soren, Graham, Chacha, and Springstep. Goldrush grabs a bag, not realizing it's empty. Kaz finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Go shoots an arrow into Summerchild's head. Holy crap, Go. So I suppose that is relatively in character, considering his background. Gizmo runs away from the cornucopia. Fair enough. Haida falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Which, unfortunately, sounds like something he'd do. Okay, that was the bloodbath. Day one, after I take one sip. Springstep picks flowers. They have a flower dress, so that's very fitting. Remy discovers a river. Nice. Kiwi stalks Abel. Not nice. And also in character. Goldrush hunts for other tributes. Okay. Graham fishes. A rock fishing. You don't see that every day. Go injures himself. Okay. Wonder how. Gizmo makes a slingshot. Karen hunts for other tributes. Fitting. Soren receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Who's sponsoring the murder cat? Dudebra questions his sanity. Gerald also fishes. I think Graham and Gerald are fishing together because they're supposed to be a team. Gum discovers a river. Gum discovers a river. Soph explores the arena. Ethelred picks flowers. Awesome. Clover injures himself. Yeah, good. Kaz, Chacha, Carter, and Inkman are the tributes. Very interesting group here. Rivals uh, Rivals hunts for other tributes as well. On his lonesome, though. Proceed. So we've only had 2 deaths in the first day, which usually it's like a good handful, so, um, thankfully, um, yeah, thankfully it's just really, what's the word? Thankfully, people aren't being really murdery this time, or really stupid. Night 1, might need to zoom in a bit more. There we go, I think 150% would be good. Night 1, Karen tends to Spring Step's wounds. Yay. Um, Both of them wear the same dress. So, yeah, similar dress. So, Clover and Remy talk about the tributes still alive. Sorry, Remy, please do not associate yourself with that thing. Um, Ethelred and Inkman track down and kill Kiwi. Yes, kill the killer, taking out competition, and very fierce competition too. So, that's smart on their end. Gizmo receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Nice. Gold Rush, Evil, Soren, and Kaz sleep in shifts. Okay. Aw, poor Soft questions his sanity. Puck and Graham hold A rock doesn't have hands. Graham does not have hands. So, okay. And also, Graham, that's a child. Carter receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Nice. Go dies from hunger. You are a robot. How did you die from hunger? Or a robot-like thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna question it. And then again, he's kind of like in an inner like world. Jolji's inner, so guess I guess it tracks out. Anywho, Revels convinces Gerald to not kill him, only to kill him instead. That is very yeah. Dudebra, Chacha, and Gum sleep in shifts. Wholesome. So yeah, uh, not the death, but yeah. Proceed. Day 2. Uh, nah, I think it's fine with this zoomed in. Abel sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Karen stabs Clover in the back with a trident. Thank you, Karen. Chacha dies from an infection. Oof. What kind of computer virus did you get? Um, Gold Rush and Revels split up to search for resources. What are you doing, Revels? What are you doing, Gold Rush? No, Revels. What are you doing, Revels? Oh well. Gum tends to Gizmo's wounds. Wholesome. Swing Step still picking flowers. Uh, this is what happens when you put a villain inside of a death simulator. They pick flowers. Dude, bruh injures himself. Injures himself. Wow. I am great at English. Receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Nice. Graham goes hunting. Cool. Remy constructs a shack. Oh. Wait, didn't Ethelred pick flowers earlier as well? People! Stop. Actually, I'm fine with you guys picking flowers. It's kind of funny that the spring-themed supervillain is picking flowers, and this other person that was picking flowers is again picking flowers. Inkman steals from Carter while he isn't looking, in character. Kaz diverts Soft's attention and runs away. Kaz, he's very friendly. You did not need to do that. Soren discovers a river. Okay, interesting. Oh, and that's day 2. Proceed. Oh, this is a very early arena event. Usually they happen on like day 6, for me. So this is really early. Swarm of trackerjackers invades the arena. Graham is stung to death. He's a rock. Then again, simulation, so. Rivals survives, as does Dudebra and Remy. While running away from trackerjackers, Soren grabs Kaz and throws him to the ground. Oh, poor Kaz. That's accurate. That is in character for Soren. While running away from the trackerjackers, Soph grabs Inkman and throws him to the ground. I think that would be a mistake. Soph's end. Puck survives, as does Goldrush and Gum. Gizmo slowly dies from the trackerjacker toxins. No, Gizmo. Ah, he's one of my oldest OCs. And I brought him back for this event. I'm so sorry, Gizmo. Oh. While running away from the trackerjackers, Ethelred grabs Karen and throws her to the ground. Oof. Evil survives though. Springstep knocks Carter unconscious and leaves him there as bait. The villains are villaining for once. Oh, and that's the event. Dang. Ethelred. The only problem is I actually can't tell if that would be an accident or that was intentional. Probably a bit of both. Proceed. 11? Kiwi, Go, Gerald, Flofer, Chacha, Graham, Kaz, Inkman, Gizmo, Karen, and Carter. 11! Yes. Holy crap. That's that's half the cat. That's almost half the half the cast? Half the cast? That's that's half the cast. Dang. And that's like two others, so there's like only 11 left. And we're only on day 2, people. Jeez. Well, most of that was from the Tracker Jackers, so still though. Okay, hopefully, hopefully night two's a bit more calm. Soren receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Stop sponsoring the murder cat, people. I know you want to see, well, the murder, but like, come on. Soph and Rebels run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Rebels, what are you up to? Thorid cooks her food before putting her fire out. Okay. Um, very responsible for her. Goldrush tries to treat his infection. He's a plushie. Puck receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Okay. Um, I that wasn't the weapon I meant, but sure. Udbra is awoken by nightmares. Okay. Gum, Springstep, and Evil carefully sing songs together. Okay, sure. Remy receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. And oh, that was the entire thing. It was a peaceful night. Um, so yeah, thank you. Soren sets an explosive off, killing Goldrush and Remy. I think he stole that from Puck. Springstep steals from Dudebro while he isn't looking. In character. Dudebro probably was like aware that Springstep was in there, but like chill, I guess. Ethelred fishes. Yay. Gum catches Abel off guard and kills him. Oof. Guess the murder streak from the first season 0 still in him. Revels explores the arena. Okay. Soph diverts Puck's attention and runs away. Okay. Cool. That was day 3. And 3 did, so I'm just doing the math in my head. Okay, so we don't have many people left. Revels screams for help. Why? Gum receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. I guess. Again, not the weapon I meant, but sure. Springstep receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Soph, Soren, Dudebra, and Puck tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. and Ethelred quietly hums. And that was night 3. And we have the feast on, like, day 4. Again, really early, but a lot of people died because of the early arena event, so. Cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Soph kills Dudebra for his supplies. Holy. Soph, calm down. Ethelred, Sorin, Springstep, and Revels track down and kill Puck. Okay, all of those I understand for tracking down, like, singular, like, tracking down people. Except for Ethelred, what are you doing? Gum decides not to go to the feast. Oof. Glad he didn't, otherwise he would have witnessed, brother being murdered. Proceed. Day 4. Soph overhears Soren and Springstep talking in the distance. Okay. Gum defeats Ethelred in a fight, but spares her life. Okay, I would not personally do that, especially since I would know it's a simulation. Revels is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Great job. I don't know why you're picking berries, but sure. Right, night 4. Soph looks at the night sky. Ethelred thinks about home. Revels cooks his food before putting his fire out. Okay, sure. Soren receives an explosive. Stop giving the murder cat explosives, people. Springstep stays awake all night. Gum looks at the night sky. Okay. Again, give it to the people who, wait. Soren didn't get an explosive, he stole it. Never mind. Still though, give the defenseless people weapons, because that would make it more engaging. Day 5. You know, when the arena event happened, I thought this would be over, like, really soon, especially with the death toll. But we're nearing, like, usually when it, well, usually ends, so, yeah. Soren discovers a river, yet again. I think he's walking in circles. Springstep travels to higher ground. Okay. Oh, Gum begs for Ethelred to kill him. She refuses, keeping Gum alive. Aw, poor dude's, like, really sad after Puck. I think you forgot that they're in a simulation. Soft sees smoke rising in the Soft sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Bit of a tongue twister there. Rebels receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. That seems like a smart idea. Proceed. No deaths, yay! Proceed. Night 5. Ethelred overpowers Gum. What's the point? Gum specifically went to you and asked you to do that, and you're like, no. But you decide the next night, you're like, actually, no. You, I've decided I will kill you. Revels fiends. Revels fends. Spring steps Soren and Soph away from his fire. The S gang, yes. Huh. Okay. Fair enough. Proceed. Spring step bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Okay. Ethelred diverts Soren's attention and runs away. That's smart. Soph camouflages himself in the bushes. You're blue. That'd be very tricky to do. Rivals accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. Oh, Gum, Springstep, and Rivals. Unfortunate. Proceed. Night 6. Soren climbs a tree to rest. Soph severely slices Ethelred with a sword. Again, a tongue twister. Soph severely slices Ethelred with a sword. Soph severely slices Ethelred with a sword. I did it. Oof. Soph's being a bit, murdery in this simulation. Oof. So now it's Soren versus Soph. Who will win? Okay, proceed. Soph kills Soren with his own weapon. Those two died. The silly lizard man won. Congrats, Soph. So, that was the OC Rumble Season 1. Hope you enjoyed this episode of reacting to text on a screen, aka the Hunger Games simulator. Um, and yeah, I don't know what to do for an outro. Um,